Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKellar Road United Methodist Church on McKellar Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. Well, the football playoffs continue around the state, and here locally we have one team yet alive and into the Elite Eight yet again. Fourth straight time for Gainesville High School in the round of 8. The Red Elephants used 5 touchdown passes from quarterback Mikey Gonzalez and held off Harris County on the road 49-40 in yet another high-scoring shootout. Over 1,000 yards of offense between the teams in that game. Now, that win sets up a quarterfinal showdown at Allatoona and Ackworth, as Allatoona knocked out Coffee 45-14. Now, one report says that Gonzalez finished with over 300 yards passing, including scoring tosses of 3, 60, and 5 yards to Chris Williamson, as well as a 70-yarder to Messiah Dorsey, who tossed a scoring pass himself on an end-around play for 61 yards to Williamson, who finished with almost 200 yards receiving, while Dorsey racked up over 100 yards worth of catches in addition to the touchdown toss. Gonzalez finished the night with a 61-yard scoring pass to Rodney Lackey, who also reportedly had 100-plus yards receiving, and Chandler Staten was 7 for 7 on his PATs. Michael Bird had a short TD and over 80 yards on the ground for Gainesville, while the Elephants also picked up 21 points off of Harris turnovers. We bring back to Hall County Sports. Man's been with us a number of times. Coach Bruce Miller, head coach of the Gainesville Red Elephants. And Bruce, first of all, congratulations. 4th straight year into the Elite Eight.
Wow.
That's something. The program can be proud of that.
Yes, the program really can be proud of it. We've got great kids, great coaches, and great administration that allows this to happen.
I rattled off in my intro to the piece here a number of statistics, and you've got some people. Particularly, let's talk a little bit about Mikey Gonzalez. One report said he had about 296, and one said he had over 300 yards passing, but somewhere in the 300 yards passing. Mikey, after living so long in the shadow of Deshaun Watson, has really come on.
Yes, he's about 50 yards from 3,000 yards for the season, and has really done a great job. A lot of people. Not us, but a lot of people probably doubted Mikey before the season. He's 5'8", he's not 6'4" like Deshaun, and Mikey's just done a great job of directing our offense.
Well, I see these names, and of course you got the Bird brothers back, and I think Michael had a touchdown run the other night and over 80 yards rushing on the ground, but you spread it around to Chris Williamson, Messiah Dorsey, Rodney Lackey, and you've got a great weapon in Chandler Staten on your placement kicks. So you rounded into a really all-around pretty good team.
That's what's happened over the year. You say when you start the season you want to see how much you improve from game to game, and this group has really improved from week to week, and it's got to be where Mikey's just, he reads the coverage, reads the secondary, and makes the throw to the guy that's open.
But all these shootouts, Coach, 49-40 the other night, all these high schools, that's got to be rough on the old coach's nerves at times.
It is. But we are used to, we don't want to have to outscore people, but if we get in that situation, we hope we can. And the other night we did, and our defense came up with some big stops. Our defense really gave us the ball a lot of times in scoring position that we didn't have to drive too far.
I think opportunistic maybe is a good word for your defense. Causes fumbles, picks up interceptions. You make a stop when you need to. Seems.
Yeah, our defense really played good the other night. You said, well, they gave up 40 points, but I tell you what, that running back they had, number 2, he carried about half of us down the field one time, and then their quarterback was so quick. That was the best 1-2 combination I think we've seen in a while.
Well, this, of course, is Thanksgiving week, and it's got to disrupt the schedule a little bit. So how do you approach this? I mean, this is nothing new to you, though, because, as I said, 4th straight year. So you used to in fact, you expect to be practicing over Thanksgiving. So how do you handle it, Bruce?
Well, you just I think your kids get accustomed to it because your juniors last year who are now seniors knows what it's like. And we always tell our kids, if we're not practicing over Thanksgiving, we probably hadn't had a very good season. And so you just you know, we're practicing in the mornings this week, no school, and the kids are doing a great job of showing up and getting it done and getting ready for the next game.
Well, which of course is going to be Allatoona in Ackworth. Got to go on the road again, but this also is, you've been kind of the road warriors this year, haven't you?
Oh, going on the road doesn't bother us. You know, we'd certainly like to be at home, but going on the road doesn't bother us, and we just adjust and go on.
What do you know about Allatoona?
Very big, very physical, looks like a very good football team. They're 12-0 right now, and they got a great running back. He's rushed for close to 2,000 yards, but they're very well-rounded. I thought they were very one-dimensional before I saw any film on them, but they're a very good football team from top to bottom.
People look at this, you know, they always say David-Goliath matchup, but we keep forgetting who won that matchup back in biblical time. And the kids got to be still excited, though, to still be playing.
Oh, they are. They are. And you know, Friday night was a great win for us, and to be practicing over Thanksgiving and looking forward to playing Friday night. Our kids are excited. Our community's excited, and we'll go after them and see what happens.
All right. Bruce Miller, Gainesville Red Elephants. Bruce, thank you for coming in. Good luck to the Red Elephants, and come back next week and tell us what happens. Okay.
All right,
thank you. Well, it has been a roller coaster of emotions for West Hall football coach Tony Lottie the last couple of weeks. The school won its first region football championship in its history, you may remember. Then came the first round of the playoffs, where the Spartans battled back from 3 TDs down to take a lead and then lose that in the closing minute to Oconee County, which lost to Pierce County 49-6 next time out, by the way. And then the coach found out that he had been chosen a national winner of the Caring Coach of the Year award presented by Dove Men Plus Care and the College Football Hall of Fame. Last week, before a packed theater, Hall of Fame kicker Kevin Butler of the Georgia Bulldogs and the Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears presented Coach Lottie with a helmet commemorating the award, which he got after being nominated by English teacher Rita Crocker at the high school. Lottie was one of 4 winners out of 824 nominees from 48 states nationwide. And Coach Lottie will be honored by the College Hall of Fame in a special ceremony on December the 19th and will be featured in a brief video about his award recognition at the Hall in Atlanta. It will also be a part of a feature in the upcoming annual Sportsman of the Year issue of Sports Illustrated. Well, we talked about all of that when Coach Lottie dropped by the studio last Friday. Tony, first of all, appreciate you coming in, taking time out, getting ready for all the holidays and stuff that are coming up and things like that, and Thanksgiving. Hope you got a good Thanksgiving planned.
Yes, I plan to do a lot of eating and a lot of nothing, to be honest with you.
Watch a little football, maybe. I hear you. Tell me about this award that you got. Now, how big a surprise was that? And I understand you were one of 4 out of over 800 nominated nationwide. So that's really something.
Well, yeah, what a blessing. I honestly didn't know anything about it. One of my fellow teachers at West Hall, Rita Crocker, she apparently heard of the contest or for the nomination process, and she sent my name in, and I actually didn't know until, I guess they narrowed it down from there to 40, and then we had to do phone conferences with Dove Men Plus Care and some folks from College Football Hall of Fame and Sports Illustrated and things like that. And so that's how I first found out, was when Rita come in and told me that it's kind of come down that way, and would I do the phone conference. And so we did, and then shortly thereafter we found out that she and I were picked. So it was it's a little overwhelming. It's just the fact that a fellow teacher thought enough of me to put my name out there just really meant a lot to me.
The title, Caring Coach of the Year. Now that also has to be something that, and I know you get into this because of your belief in young men and your belief that football makes them better people. So the very title of this award has to be flattering.
Well, it is, because, and I think, all coaches, I think, will tell you, you got to be in it for the right reasons, and I feel like coaches, we are. That, and I tell the kids all the time, this has to be about more than a 48-minute football game, that our true goals and our true purpose goes way beyond the football field, that I'm more concerned in, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, hoping that to watch these kids grow into being good fathers, good husbands, good members of the community. So I tell you, for me, it just goes way back to my first year coaching many years ago. After our banquet, I had one of my parents, a father, he pulled me aside, Mr. Ellis, afterwards, and he just said, "Coach, I trust you with my son." He said, "And I can't give you any greater compliment than that." and I've just never forgot it. It's one of those things, you know, to be entrusted with someone else's child, you know, what a privilege and what a huge responsibility that is, and just hope that we can make a difference.
Plus, the other night was right in front of a whole bunch of people over there at West Hall in the theater, and you got to meet Kevin Butler, the kicker from the Hall of Fame, and all that kind of stuff. And as an old punter, that had to be kind of a thrill too.
It was. I know my son enjoyed it because, you know, Kevin's son is a punter with the Cardinals now. So, you know, they always say kickers and punters, we're kind of a strange group. So it's, you know, I guess we can only relate to each other when most people think we kind of dance to the beat of a different drum, so to speak. But it was a good night for us over at West Hall, and the fact that, you know, here to have a Hall of Fame member there and members from the Hall of Fame, it was just really nice. And
so too, now you get a spot in the College Football Hall of Fame, and a little piece in Sports Illustrated and their Sportsman of the Year is. Man, this is high cotton, Tony. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Sports Illustrated and College Fit, it's pretty cool. You know, at the school the other night when they made the announcement, some folks from Dove Men Plus Care had flown in, and also Brad Olecki from the College Football Hall of Fame, and some other folks were there. And they he gave me a helmet, a College Football Hall of Fame helmet, and it was all signed by this year's class of players who were inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. So, you know, my wife, she's kind of made fun of me. The helmet's sitting right on our kitchen table at the house. So, you know, I'm still a kid at heart. It was really a pretty cool thing.
And now, I think the ceremony is the 19th at the College Football Hall of Fame, which, by the way, folks, in case you're not aware of it now, is in Atlanta now.
Yes, and that's the other thing that was kind of special for me is the fact that, you know, here has a little hometown flavor to it. I know the couple other folks that are being recognized coaches, they'll be flying in, and my drive's just going to be a little shorter than their flight, of course, but it's actually on the 18th, and they're going to bring us down for a couple of days down there and go through the hall and do some various activities, from my understanding, with Dove Men's Plus Care and the College Football Hall of Fame.
Well, I know you expected to be still playing football this time of year, and I know that's when you think back on it, the heartbreak doesn't get any less. And I mean, that's about as close as you can get with that kind of comeback in the fall, that literally within the closing minute.
Well, it is, and it still hurts, and it's going to hurt for about 8 months until we go back out there, for me personally. But, you know, coming off of the week we had prior to winning first ever region title, it was, you know, playing in an actual region title game, and the kids were up for it. And we came out and we did not play our best football in the first half. You know, hats off to Oconee County, they did, and we put ourselves in a hole. And you know, down 35-14 at halftime, we were kind of regrouping in there at half, and you know, to be down by 3 touchdowns going into the second half in a state playoff game is a pretty big hole. But I was really proud of my kids, how we came out and played the second half, and you know, to climb back in it and actually took the lead 38-35 with only a couple minutes to go in the game, and then gave up one play there at the end that cost us under a minute. So. But to be honest with you, you know, when I look back at it and kind of take stock over the last 3 years and what we've been trying to do at West Hall, you know, I just really believe that shows that my kids had character and they had heart. To the fact they didn't quit and to come back the way they did, I just feel like that was all character and heart.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're going to miss your seniors, but I think you got some folks coming back. You ought to be a force next year, don't you think? Well,
we've got a lot we've got to improve on in the off season. We'll take Friday's loss, kind of the same way I did last year with the heartbreaking loss to Cartersville, and we'll build on that and to take us into year 4. But we do have a lot of kids coming back. We really do. I'll miss the seniors. They've done a great job with helping, not, you know, and that goes to last year's seniors. Mm-hmm. You know, Zach and Hunter and Eric and that whole group of kids of really buying in and helping us getting the program turned in the right direction. And this year's senior class, you know, took us to a new level with first ever region title. And so next year's senior class understand that the bar's high, and I'll always keep that bar high. And we've got lofty goals, and it's going to require us to do a whole lot of work between now and next August when we kick off for the first time.
All right. Well, I know it's going to be a thrill for you to be at the College Football Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Tony, on
Thank
the
you.
award. Blessings on you and the program at West Hall and the family, and Have a great holiday season with Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff coming up. And good luck to the Spartans down the road.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I've just been very fortunate and very blessed, and I love Hall County, and I just appreciate the fact of everybody here, all the communities that rally around and do everything for our kids. So thank you, and I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving as well.
I appreciate that. And once again, congratulations and thanks to Coach Tony Lottie. More hoops when we hit the hardwood when Hall County Sports continues. Gary Glenn on the set of Hall County Sports Television, along with Pastor Rob Bruce, who is the pastor at McKelvey Road United Methodist Church, where we have our studios. And Rob, the Advent season is here.
That's right, and we've got a great sermon series. It's Christmas Through the Eyes of Mary. It's called There's Something About Mary. You know, Gary, there must have been for God to pick a 14-year-old girl from a backwater town like Nazareth to carry the Christ child. And that's what we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at Christmas through the eyes of Mary. Won't you come join us?
All the way through Christmas Eve.
All the way through Christmas Eve.
All right. Look forward to it, Rob. Thank you for coming
Gary.
in.
Thank you.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. And we continue in this segment our preview of our local basketball teams. Last week, we looked at some of the girls' teams from around the area. This week, we finish up the girls and we start the boys' previews.
Tell me about last year, the record, highs and lows, what you got coming back, anticipations for this year.
Last year, I'm kind of old. I don't even remember it. We won more than we lost. I think we went to the state tournament and lost. We lost 4 kids, 4 occasional starters. What do we expect? We expect kids to come every day, show up on time, and work hard, and get to where we're going to play on time, and get to the gym on time, and hopefully these young ladies will lead us to a happy year.
If I remember correctly, you played pretty good defense most of the year last year, but you had some trouble scoring at times. What about this year?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, we're going to shoot it because that's kind of sort of the object of the game is to put it in the hole. Now, whether or not it goes in, it all just depends on how hard they work in practice. The intensity they have in practice carries over to the game. If they bring that to the table, then we should shoot it rather well. We don't have a bunch of kids who live in the gym and shoot all the time, so that's probably why the shooting is erratic. And so as a coach, we just try to play defense because, you know, they certainly don't ever work on that in their own time.
All right. What kind of senior leadership can we expect out of you girls this year, Skylar?
We have a lot of strong shooting from our seniors, and we have good leadership skills developed from our former seniors, and we just hope to take on that role and responsibility to lead like our seniors did last year.
Where do you feel the team is going to be strong this year? Now, you've been there and played a lot for 4 years, so where have you seen the team improve over last year?
Last year we've improved tremendously on defense, and we have a strong suit of shooting guards this year, so I hope that we improve on that more than last year.
How do you feel about last year translating into this year?
Last year we were very senior heavy, not very deep, and I think this year we have no seniors, so everybody's returning for 2 years. We're very deep, very talented, very athletic, have good chemistry. I'm very positive about this season.
Where do you figure you're going to be strong this year? I'm going to ask you as the coach that, and based on what you've seen in the preseason workouts and some of the game film you've seen so far.
The 2 things that we do the best, first, we run the floor really well. I think when we play fast, we get easy baskets, and we have the personnel to do that. And secondly, I think we shoot the ball really well. You know, anytime you can shoot the ball, you've got a chance. So I think those are the 2 things that we do best.
And where do you need to turn it up a notch?
I think rebounding. We're not very big. We're probably one of the smaller schools in the conference, and I think that's something that's got to be a collective effort.
Jasmine, how important is it for the juniors to step into that leadership role since you don't have any seniors?
It's a big deal. But like you said, we don't have many seniors, so we have we have 6 juniors? 6 juniors, so it's a collective effort, but, you know, we've been doing well holding.
How do you feel about your chances this year?
I feel very good. The issue we're dealing with now is we have 6 out for injury, 1 for the year, but 5 should be back by second semester. If we can get those healthy, I feel like we're right in the mix with everybody else.
So you got to survive till you get them back? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
If I remember the schedule, I glanced at it, you don't play again at home until after the first of the year, is that right?
Correct. We have 2 home games this semester and 8 on the road. That was not intentional, but I think a young team can grow from it. We just have to learn to play in different environments and with the travel schedule, and I think we'll definitely mature from that experience.
But yeah, we caught fire a little bit, got into the playoffs, played a good Banks team, went to semifinals, won semifinals in region. Then we went to the playoffs, won first round. Then we ran into St. Pius. You know, they had a few good players, and then they put us out. But we had a little run at the end, and we just went with the ride. That's all.
How does that carry over this year?
We got a lot of players back. I think we're athletic. But with that said, at the end of the day, you still got to play basketball. You still got to stop people. You still got to make shots. If you don't do the small things, none of that matters. If you don't come to practice every day and work, it doesn't matter. You got to come every day and work, and that's it. That's what it comes down to.
As a junior, looking up to the seniors now, what's your role going to be on the team this year?
Well, as a junior, I look up to the seniors, but I try to take a leadership role in the team, knowing that we still have a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and I just try to live up to what they want to be.
Okay. Tell me about the league this year. What do you expect out of your competition? Who are the teams to beat in your region?
Good. We lost 3 good teams: North Hall, Beaufort, White County. But with that said, the region is really wide open. I think anybody could win it, which is kind of scary. You got Dawson, you got Lumpkin in there. Banks could still be good. It's going to be really tough. Franklin's in the region now. They got the region tournament. It's going to be really tough. So we're going to have to come play every night. And that's pretty much it. You know, it's going to be a surprise. I think there'll be a surprise team making the playoffs, and we're just hoping we can get in.
Well, Coach, first of all, we'll start off with you. Now, you're the new kid on the block, so to speak. Tell me a little bit about your background, where you came from, how you feel about taking over the team.
Well, it's been a great change for me. I'm originally from Hall County, so I'm not new. I guess I'm new to coaching in Hall County, but I actually graduated from Johnson. Had the great fortune of working with that guy right over there named Jeff Steele. If I talk about him, he might listen. But
he's not going to listen.
Had a good opportunity to work with him at Johnson and so forth. So just glad to be back. It's a great county and a great athletics in this county.
Based on what you've seen so far in the preseason workouts and so forth, I'll play the game with you to fill in the blanks. We're going to be really good at this. We got to get better at this.
We better be really good at playing defense. We've got to get better at executing in the half court.
Tell me about last year, how that's going to carry over into this year, or will it?
Honestly, I think that it's not really going to make much of a difference. We didn't really have many players returning that played varsity, and I think it's been a good transition into this year because we have new guys that are coming in that are willing to play the way Coach wants us to, and there hasn't been really any hard times in doing that. You know, we didn't have that successful of a season last year, but I think that we had a good off season, and we're all starting to get really healthy, and I think that we're going to benefit from it.
What has Coach Pittman brought to the team?
Well, first of all, the style of play. I mean, the way in the past we've had kind of a run and gun offense, shoot a lot of threes and stuff like that, but we've kind of settled down into a more of a slower kind of offense where we can really look at the different cuts and passes that we need to make instead of making awful decisions.
Now, some of the winning efforts from last week for our local teams as the season openers continue. East Hall's girls basketball team opened their season with a 57-42 victory against North Gwinnett. Kyla Mize powered the Lady Vikings with 20 points. North Georgia Christian's boys basketball team defeated Maranatha Christian Academy 57-37. Norris Rediger and Justin Law combined for 30 points in that win. The Chargers then beat Westminster 58-42, and Rediger had 14 more points. Lakeview's girls and boys swept Chattanooga Christian. The girls won 38-35 and the boys 66-40. Hannah Grogan led the Lady Lions with 20 points, while Tay Turner had 11, and Carter Reeves and Drew Cottrell 10 apiece for the Lakeview boys. Flowery Branch's girls won their season opener 68-45 over Riverwood. Brianna Locke scored 18 points, while Julianne Sutton pulled down 11 rebounds for the Branch. North Hall, boys and girls, swept Clark Central in close games, with the Trojan girls winning a squeaker 70-68, and the boys coming out on top 65-61. The Cleveland sisters both had double-doubles for the North Hall girls. Sydney had 27 points and 11 rebounds, and Sadie had 21 points and 11 boards. Sam Jackson led the male Trojans with 21. Chesterton's boys won a double overtime matchup with River Ridge, 75-73. Hunter Creamer had 21, and Jordan Pulliam 20 for the War Eagles. And the Johnson boys basketball team took a 12-point win at 88-76 over Class A powerhouse Whitfield Academy. A couple of seniors, Ty Cockfield and Roderick English, did most of the offensive damage for the Knights, scoring 28 and 27 points, respectively. The wrap-up is next. This is Hall County Sports. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with childcare, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael's Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center.
Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905, Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Gary Glenn back with some of the notable doings in the issue of Hall County sports around the county. About 3 months after pitching in front of Major League scouts on the West Coast, Flowery Branch senior right-handed pitcher Jonathan Hughes signed a letter of intent last week to play for Georgia Tech after high school. Hughes had one of his best statistical years this past spring when he had a 1.23 ERA and a 7-0 record. He only surrendered 23 hits and 1 home run all season and led the Falcons to their 4th straight playoff appearance. He had a big win over Gainesville last year and reportedly now has a fastball topping out at about 97 miles an hour. He had played travel ball with the son of Tech coach Danny Hall. Hughes has played on the U.S. team in Venezuela representing the U.S. of A. Last year was a preseason All-America first team. Okay, let's look at some of our girls that made all-region softball teams. In 8-5A, Kelly Callett and Bailey Sims made the first team along with Gainesville's Kayla Street. Roger Parham of Gainesville was in fact named the Region Coach of the Year in softball. The Branch's Steve Rothschild was the Assistant Coach of the Year. The Branch's Chloe Zeller, C.L.B. Griffin, and Maddie Hetzel were named to the second squad along with Gainesville's Kara England and Whitney Ledford. In 8-4A softball on the first team, Becca Eddins, an infielder, and Kayla Watson, an outfielder from Chesterton, made the first team. Second team included Ashlyn Brewer, an infielder, Harper Seymour, an infielder, Ashley Goins, a catcher, Carson McCormick, an outfielder, Caitlin Edward, and Hannah Miller, pitchers. All of those girls from North Hall, and Sierra Brock of Chesterton also made the second team. Honorable mention from Chesterton, Kenyana Wesley. In 7-AAA, first team all-region, a catcher, Josie Coker, a senior from East Hall, an infielder, Callie Turner, a senior from East Hall, utility, Stephanie Redmond, a freshman from East Hall, outfielder, Abby Black, a senior from East Hall. And on the second team from East Hall, Mackenzie Robinson, a senior, Emma House, a junior, Caitlin Poole, a senior, and from West Hall, Anna McKendry, a freshman, all made that team, and congratulations to all those ladies. All right. Iron Dogs Joey Murphy and Tim Moon went to the World Association of Bench Pressers and Deadlifters World Championships in Las Vegas, and both came home with first-place trophies. After a rather forgettable Friday when he arrived at the venue only to find out that they had started the event early, Moon came back to win on Saturday. On Friday, after no proper time to warm up, he failed to get a lift in the Masters class at the 275-pound bodyweight level. But he came back on Saturday and battled through shoulder pain to win the open division with a lift of over 727 pounds. And another world title to go with the one he won in Austria just a few weeks ago. This one in Vegas, his 11th world championship overall. Murphy took his Masters class in the 275s with a reported personal record of around 705 pounds on the bench press. Two strong guys for sure. And at the Global Powerlifting Alliance Worlds in Sydney, Australia, the GPAs down there, Iron Dogs and husband-wife Russ and Dana Tripp battled through weight loss and a very long trip to both set records and win their respective Masters classes in bench only. And we congratulate all of the Iron Dogs for some good lifting. That's our show for this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn. Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKever Road United Methodist Church on McKever Road in Oakwood, loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ.
Yeah.
Bye.